Okay, we're going to start with Mike with a little bit, we've asked for, last meeting we asked for a design on about 8,000 square feet, and the fire department has put that together, and Mike's going to speak to that a little bit.
So we have went back to the drawing table after council requested us to do so, and reformatted the floor plan for our fire hall. So we dropped the square feet by 1,600 square feet. We went with the 2-bay, non-drive-through, no elevator, no second floor at all, and so we have a hall that will meet our needs for today. Say we dropped the price about $250,000. So we're down, the pricing now is coming in at about $2,160,000. And it has, it's a functional workspace for us. Again, it's built for today, so it's just like council asked, not planning for the future, so we're just thinking of today.
Can I ask a question? Where do we compromise for the future?
On future growth for the municipality.
Okay. Any questions?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said, Bill.
I asked the question, where do we compromise for the future? And the answer was that we haven't built in anything for a much larger population. In that many words.
Again,
Okay.
just to clarify that, it's not the populations that we usually protect, it's building and structures, and there is growth. There's been some growth. There's been growth every year since I've been here, and there's potential for more growth again this year and future years to come. So I just want to make sure that everybody's on the same page.
Okay. Great.
Growth in what? You're talking
Growth in our community.
Oh, like population then?
Population structures mostly. That's what we're here to protect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure staff spoke to that at the last meeting on Thursday, and they said we were actually going in a downward spiral, not upward.
Population.
Population is what I just said. Oh, okay.
No, I'm not arguing with that. No, I'm not sure the stats is correct,
Okay.
but anyways, that's what it is. That's what they say. That's
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Anybody else?
I see the sketch, and I noticed here where we see all the square footage, they've got categories all kind of lumped together, like common spaces, have stores, kitchens, files, lobbies, waiting rooms, front lobbies, filing areas. I don't suppose any place there's a square footage sign, or not square footage, an actual dimension size for these spaces and buildings? Yeah.
It does say the actual square feet someplace.
Yeah, but they got everything lumped into big categories, common areas, 10 items.
Oh yeah, so the individual room sizes, no, he didn't spell them out. I don't think we had time, so.
No, I just wondered if there might be something someplace else we could have seen. I guess he didn't do that?
No.
Cynthia?
So if I can clarify, I think what you're looking at, is that on page 3? That you were looking at those sizes?
I think the square footage on one. Yeah, 3.
Because what we had asked for was the proposed, so the 11,428, that was the proposed square footage of the previous design. So we had asked them just to show the difference.
Yeah, no, I just
That's why it's grouped into large categories.
Yeah, I just wondered if there was a sketch someplace, because when they drew it up, somebody must have thought of sizes for these rooms, I would think, to come up with a total.
Can I suggest we ask staff to provide us with a report just with the square footage?
Absolutely.
A breakdown of the square footage?
As per room?
Well,
the general offices and, someone who has actual dimensions can work that out fairly well. The dimensions here are fairly crude, okay? They're not that they're wrong, it's just that it's hard to estimate what the square footage is, so for our next meeting or whatever it is, if we can get something relatively quickly, give us an idea of what each of these spaces is. It doesn't have to be exact, but are we talking 150 square foot for this, a training area? My estimate is the training area appeared to be about 1,000 square feet, but that would be a rough estimate.
So-
I saw that on there.
Okay, so if you go to page 7, the numbers across the top on that diagram, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all represent 20 feet. Okay, and A, B, C, D down the side represent 20 feet. So that's your, so that can kind of put it a little bit more into
Yeah,
perspective.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Will that help?
but Terry probably has, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Terry can probably give us that fairly quickly, I would think.
We can ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else?
As I said, Your Worship, we're saying next meeting. I don't really want to delay this a month between meetings. I'd like, if we could get something going every second week, someplace so we move along with our decisions. You know, a month is, first thing you know, summer's gone and fall's
Okay.
here.
Okay, do we want to, is there a consensus that we try to speed this process up
Absolutely.
Yeah, sure.
for everybody? So that'll be a direction to staff that we have the meetings every 2 weeks until we
Totally
finalize where we're
agree.
going.
And if I may, Your Worship, we had a proposal in 2012 for the 9,600 square foot hall of 2.1. So this is 1,600 square feet less and it's 2.16. So it's, the cost, and the longer we delay, it's gonna go up.
Yeah, I understand that.
Okay?
Okay, anything else? For Bob?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you, every 2 weeks. It's just, I don't think we need to, I'm looking at this now that we have a scale. And we want to be careful, we don't start micromanaging too much here on the size of an office. I mean, we might shave a few feet off the building, but we have to try and still keep it square. It's the only thing that makes sense, or rectangular, I guess. Let's not try to micromanage too much. I think we have a build, the idea is to get to a building that will, barring unforeseen growth in structures, not population, will probably be very suitable for the town for the next 40 years. And we're doing what should have been done a long time ago. So that's my piece on that. And yeah, certainly every 2 weeks, let's get this done.
I still feel that this is too much money to spend on a fire hall. I'd like to see, yes, I'd like to see figures and stuff of that nature, but I also believe this is still too large. I don't really think we need anything that large. We didn't need it before. We've been managing real well with 3,000, a little over 3,000 square foot area that we have right now. I mean, we were willing to go 6, and then we discussed 7, we discussed 8. I think we're just moving in the wrong direction. I really do. I think we should be looking at something a little smaller, minus the micromanaging, and for sure, like, this is still a lot of money. We're not getting any more money, so we have to play with the money we have. And if anything ever happens to Domtar, God forbid that doesn't happen, we're going to lose a lot of money there as well. I think we should be looking at this from a different perspective. That's all I have to say.
Right now, we have a proposal in front of us for a 9,700 square foot building and a two-story building, and we have an 8,000 square foot building. We just got some of this information a short while ago, so I'm going to suggest that we ask staff to do a direct comparison, apples to apples comparison on the cost, so we know what the difference is. What we're really looking at, and not to say that we won't adjust that, but what we've done there is looked at a larger footprint, 1-story versus a slightly smaller footprint, 2-story, more overall area. And we need to ensure that Cynthia has some time to make sure we do a good direct comparison.
Okay.
Is that fair for everybody?
Yeah, that's fair.
And we can ask for that for our next meeting. Unless you've got some of that information there now.
No, I just received this today as well, but could I just ask for a bit of clarification? Is it just the cost you want clarification? a comparison on, or square footage, or what exactly?
Well, I guess you could do a comparison of both, the square footage and the cost. Just so that we
Okay.
have an idea of what's the difference between the two, it'll sort of.
No, that wasn't my
Yeah.
statement.
I'm aware of
Okay.
that, okay, and you think that's too much, but what
I
we
do.
need to do is, we've downsized it a little bit, okay? Let's
We
just
have.
see what that has done for us. Is that
Well-
a reasonable thing to do?
Just
Okay,
one
go
other
ahead.
thing, Bill. I understand what you're saying, and I agree with you,
Yeah.
but this is, what I'm saying is this is still too large, period. Like, I mean, no matter which way we slice it, it's still, and in my opinion, it's too large. And I'm not gonna change that opinion.
Ron?
Could I suggest that, I got this when we walked in tonight. I know we just said 2 weeks, but in the interim, how about we all have a good look at this and meet here in a week? And then give Cynthia a little bit better direction, because I think she's kind of lost, as I'm sure I am, as to what you want to compare. So if we had a look at this and looked at sizes and whatever, now that Mike has given us some kind of a scale to go by, we have an idea. And then maybe come back in a week, what we think of the sizes and square footage of the various areas in there. And I think Cynthia would have a whole lot better idea of what we're asking of her. And then we could meet every 2 weeks if we want. But you gotta have some direction, and you gotta have an idea of what we want.
So,
Would it be too long, Bill, if we decided that or wouldn't it be long enough, I don't know. Monday, we're supposed to have a meeting on budget, right?
yeah,
And then we also, I believe there's a corporate meeting at the same time. Could we bring maybe some stats to that meeting? And
I don't have a problem doing that. If
That's
everybody
Tuesday.
else is
I'm sorry, that is Tuesday.
Tuesday,
Yes.
Sure, that works for me.
okay?
Would that be okay? All right.
Is that all right with everybody else?
Yeah.
Okay, we're all right with that? Okay, so, Bob?
Are you suggesting that you're going to talk about that at corporate services or have a separate meeting
Separate meeting.
prior to the budget meeting?
I think we should have a separate meeting,
Prior to the budget meeting.
yeah.
That's what I would have thought, yeah. I'm good with that.
Is everybody happy with that? Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Now, we have a presentation to put on by Brent Leclerc and Jeff Bint.
Hello, Brent Leclerc, to my right here is Jeff Bint. We're
Okay.
business partners in Espanola. We are proposing a design build for the new fire hall. And what we have is approximately an 8,000 square foot building. We did a complete cost estimate and breakdown at 1.74 million. That's with the design and build, turnkey operation paid. Jeff and I are both residents of this town and have been our whole life, and regardless to population growth or whatnot, we're still gonna need a fire hall regardless. And I believe our design that we have, that we're gonna propose to you guys is it's a nice building. It's very energy efficient. It'll have R30 walls, R60 ceilings, triple pane windows. It's basically a really good building. So I know there's controversy with a steel building, a regular wood building, a block building. Not sure what you guys are looking for, but I believe what we have to propose here is the option. So way to go in Espanola.
Bear with me while I set this all up for you. So this is the floor plan, and then that is the front elevation of what it will be. And obviously there's talks of size requirements, and then obviously talks of the requirements versus wants and the architectural look of a building. Being residents of Espanola and knowing the area, it's our opinion that there should be a focal point of the town structure. And with it not being a pre-engineered building, you're opening opportunities for a better building. You get a better building envelope, you get better insulation value, you get, and you hear a lot of pros and cons about pre-engineered buildings. And to compare apples to apples, they are a lot better of a building, or sorry, a wood frame building is a lot better of a building, only for the sole fact of insulation purpose, for building envelope purpose, for energy efficiency. And obviously, it seems like we're coming a little bit late. We're throwing the wrench into your wheels, if you want to say it. But at the same time, we do have a proposal, and it is a cost-efficient proposal. It's a well-researched proposal, and we're confident in it. And it could potentially be a good building for the community. And I'll just, if you don't mind, I'll give you a brief walkthrough of it. So, we did speak to Mike about, briefly a couple times, about the needs of the fire department. And then our designer did some research, we did some research on the post-disaster requirements of the building, the actual functioning requirements of what the fire department needs to function. And I do hear a lot of stuff about not building for the future. But at the same time, if you're able to build for the future cost efficiently, why not? So as you can see here, there's 4 bays. These are high efficiency insulated aluminum doors, complete with low E energy efficient glass. The building facade, the front facade is made up of, this is brick, this is stone, and this is either cement or wood siding. And they both have long lifetimes. Obviously the brick and the stone does. And that's the general look of the building. As far as function, this is pretty much what we've developed on what we can pertain or understand that they need to function now and potentially in the future. So we'll start with the training room. It's a 40 by 22, almost 23-foot training room with an attached kitchen, and we've allowed for a lot of finishes in the building, pretty much everything that's needed other than furniture. So for say in the kitchen, we've allowed for a kitchen, appliances, a stove, a fridge, and that's pretty much the extent of the furniture we've allowed for. But then you get into, and we're aware that the town wants to potentially put 2 public works offices in there, and we've allowed for that. So you see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 offices, and then there's a lobby area, a copy print, a universal barrier-free washroom, which will be handicap accessible, be both male and female, complete with all the operators and everything like that. And then there's a male and female washroom, and then they're obviously not barrier-free because you have this barrier-free washroom here. A file room, and then obviously the garage bay with 4 12 by 14 overhead doors. The workshop, storage area, the breathing apparatus area where they will be rebottling their own air, complete with compressor that will be supplied by the town, either moved from the new fire hall or if you decide to get a new one. Mechanical room, laundry room, because it's our understanding they need somewhere to be able to do their laundry. And this is the bunker gear area. So this is where the lockers that will be relocated from the existing fire hall will be replaced. There's a men and women's washroom, complete with a decontamination shower on each side. The building overall is 123 feet wide. So this would be 2nd Avenue here, and this would be Meade Street here. So the building is 123 feet wide by 74 feet deep. And I do understand in talking to Mike that the occupancy is aimed to be somewhere between 55 to 60 people. And that's max occupancy. So what we've done is we've allowed for, around certain areas of the building, we've allowed for 16, up to 16, sometimes 18, depending on the placement of the building on the property. We've allowed for 16 parking spots on top of the 24 that will be allotted from the tear down from the existing fire hall. We've also thought about supplying a quotation to demolish your existing fire hall, but from our standpoint, that might be something that the town could save money on, cost savings on, if you were to look after it on your own, like compared to maybe half the cost. With our overhead costs, our insurance costs, stuff like that, it's something that the town could probably hire a contractor on their own to do.
It is definitely in the town's better interest to remove and dispose of that building rather than us do it. Obviously, it's been done throughout the town before, so we would be more than happy to give you a quote on that. But
How many square feet over 8,000?
7,965.
Yeah.
Did you have a ballpark figure that I hear when we started?
Yep, 1.74 million, and it's actually not. It's 1,740,000, and it's actually not a ballpark. That is a hard line design build cost. That is the construction. That's the design, periodic inspections, final inspections, commissioning, that's everything included.
That is a
our
turnkey
price.
building.
And you even said the appliances in the kitchen?
Yeah, the appliances in the kitchen.
And you talked with Mike, I see it there. I don't know if you included Dan, our building official.
No, actually we haven't.
Because I
We were
know
kind of-
post-disaster, you mentioned it.
We were kind of pressed for time, and that also, in the post-disaster requirement, that also includes a Generac generator to function the building. We were pressed for time, we haven't had a chance to talk to Dan.
As you can see, our plan day was yesterday.
Yeah.
I schedule. I have a couple of questions. One being, can we get that on PDF file?
Well, the thing is, it's technically not our design to be handing out because it is designed by a designing firm.
Okay.
So technically, no.
Second question.
Yep.
What's the size of the base?
The overall dimension from corner to corner is 75 feet.
75 feet corner and depth?
And depth would be,
56?
I believe it's roughly, so 40, 50, about 54 feet.
54.
And this is also a preliminary design. It could always be modified to suit the needs. The whole structure couldn't be changed, obviously, but the internal offices, the layouts of certain areas, it's all preliminary. So it is open to change.
Sure.
And it also, at the same time, there is a chance for possible cost savings depending on what you prefer for finishes and stuff.
I'd like to ask Mike, how did you like it, Mike?
You can't see
Was there
it.
anything in it you didn't like?
Yeah, I can't see it. So.
No, it's a functional building, again, it's.
Would you guys prefer if I moved those over there? Sorry, I guess I should have.
No, that's, I can beat that.
Price works, and it meets what we need today, so.
And also at the same time, I know
And then-
everybody, there's talk about the growth and the decline and growth in the community. Well, hopefully, like, I'm a young resident of Espanola. I don't want to see my town decline. Hopefully it can grow. And with only having 2 bays, I'm not sure the technicalities on how many trucks can serve so many buildings. I'm not sure of that. But to me, the functionality and the room to expand is there with the extra 2 bays compared to an original 2 bays. And it's cost efficient, it's a more energy efficient building.
And as of right now, I believe we have 4 trucks, or 3 going on 4.
We have 3, 4 will be ordered, hopefully, just sometime this summer.
So that's it. I understand we're a little bit late at the game, but I believe it's a good opportunity for the town.
I know you can't give us the architect's design. Could you give us a schematic of this?
What we could
Just so
potentially
kind of
do,
compare rooms and whatever.
yeah, what we could potentially do is email it to you guys.
Or
And,
Cynthia, and she would.
yeah, we could send it to Cynthia, then you guys could go over it. Go over the designs, and as you know, right off the hop, I believe there's about $400,000 savings from the other designers. So, and I believe that our building is pretty compared apples to apples with their building. There won't be. I believe their design was a steel building, and like I said, the big deal with that is energy efficiency. Another thing, if we do build this building, we're going to use, it's going to be local content. Like, we'll be buying our lumber and everything locally. We will be subcontracting everything we possibly can locally, and so on and so forth. So it's better for the town in every aspect. When it comes to we were watching the meeting they had a few weeks ago, and I guess somebody was saying that potentially a steel building's quicker. I've built both. I've built prefab buildings. I've built wood frame buildings. I've built block buildings. I did the Ford dealership in Espanola. I built a clinic in Espanola. They aren't any faster. Once they're at site, they go up quickly. But it takes about 13 to 14 weeks to actually get a steel building on site. By that time, we would have a roof on this building, and we'd start the finishes. So
From the time that we figure from the time that everything is designed finally, everything was awarded, we figured we'd have a shovel in the ground within 3 to 4 weeks, 3 to 5 weeks, somewhere in there. Compared to
yeah, if there was a go ahead, we could have a shovel in the ground for sure within a month.
One more question.
Yeah.
We cannot give you a go-ahead here And-
No.
And the thing I'm trying to get at though, by having this to look at, it'd be easier for us to make a decision.
That's right.
If we're just guessing of this, I mean,
Yep,
we
certainly.
can't just guess this out, right?
No, that's understandable.
Okay, I think, yeah, thank you very much, okay? What we're trying to do establish is really the footprint, and then we're gonna have to go from there, and,
Yep.
and, we're gonna try to have as much competition as possible when it comes out to tender, okay? And we're probably going to establish a building size and a sort of a general design, and then have a
I will
competition
email
for that.
the drawings to Cynthia, then you guys could actually go over it and have a good look.
And I'm just talking personally, okay, but
Yep.
that's likely, I think that's likely what we'll do as a council.
We have to go tender.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you very much.
All right, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I don't think there's anything left here.
Just
So it's,
Bill, sir,
yeah,
one more question. Has anybody else come forward? Okay.
it's still, really.
No.
it's
No,
really
and I understand that,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Not that
I wasn't surprised.
So it's now 6:55. Be it resolved that the committee of the whole meeting is hereby adjourned. All those in favor? Okay, so the next meeting will start at 7:30 as usual, so we'll have a